Hey, everybody! Welcome to the Heart of the Game on Twitch as we go live tonight with episode 4 of our Eberron campaign. For those of you who may have missed the last few weeks, as always, just a friendly reminder, you can check out Heart Gaming over on YouTube where we post all of our past episodes, including this one next week. If you want to check it out afterwards, if you miss things, or you just want to watch it again, because that'd be awesome. Just a quick recap of last week. So last week, Ishara and Navari had spent some time in the city of Sharn, spending some money and just getting a little relaxation in. Where Navari was hoping to hire an inquisitive in the city to help her locate her missing family. And as she was on her way to do that, she bumped into Randall, the Agile dwarf paladin from Reign of the Silver Flame. And he accompanied her to a tavern where they were intercepted by a messenger owl. Pardon me. That owl had a message to go back to the Broken Anvil and to meet with Lady Eladrin, who was in some serious trouble. Because the Warforged that they encountered in the ruins of Sharn was still alive. Not only was he alive, but he was very angry and seeking revenge on all of them. So he and some hired goons came in. There was quite a battle that ensued. And Lady Eladrin had a request for our players to continue searching for the rest of the parts of the schema to make sure that not only the Lord of Blades doesn't get it, but maybe some other nefarious group who could use it for some kind of more evil activity. They boarded a ship that is taking them currently to the Goblin Nation of Dargun, specifically the capital city of Rukon Drawl. On the journey to that, one night the ship going up river to the capital city encountered a very thick, heavy fog that caused them to slow down, and a bunch of ghouls boarded the ship. Our players were able to fend them off very easily, and now we are in the wee hours of the morning as they are about to dock at the capital city to continue their quest. It is mid-morning when you finally arrive in Rukon Drawl. The Goblinoid city was built around what was once a Syrian frontier town, and today it has grown into a sprawling Goblinoid metropolis. The city appears as a crazy architectural tapestry. Mud and timber huts surround ancient structures of stone and brick, interspersed with canvas tents and pavilions. Most of the roads are bare earth, and a few of the wonders or single buildings few wonders or conveniences of Sharn are evident here. Within the ramshackle city, a single building dominates the skyline. It is an enormous tower of red stone rises up from the very center of the city. This is Kar Mabaros, the court of Lesharok, the Goblin King. So things that a lot of people know about Lesharok is that he was a commander during the last war, and his allies would fight him, and his troops, his goblin soldiers were fighting on behalf of one of the other nations, and took advantage of the chaos of the war, turning on their contractors and forging out their own nation in what used to be a part of the nation of Seer. So when you guys get off the ship, you are in this, very, compared to where you've been, a very exotic place. Most of the people wandering around are goblins, hobgoblins, and bugbears. There are a few dwarves, there are a few humans. This is a place that is, because it's in a frontier town, because it's in a nation that is a little bit more chaotic and free. A lot of people who tend to be without a home, maybe outlaws, smugglers, pirates. This is a good place for them, and this is a port that doesn't ask a lot of questions. However, it's also at times, you have to just be able to protect yourself, because this is a pretty rough and tumble area, because the culture of the goblins is very militaristic, and despite the betrayals, people do still hire out House Deneth bodyguards for things, but never full armies anymore. Nobody would ever, nobody in their right mind anyway would take that risk. But hiring a squad of say 10 to 12 bodyguards or mercenaries to carry out a task or protect you on a journey is something that is still commonly done, because the hobgoblins, especially, their dedication to warfare and combat is basically legendary. So what you know is that your contact, Phelan, is located somewhere in the market of this city. And as you guys disembark from the ship, what would you like to do?
I feel a kinship to these ugly creatures.
To expand on that.
Oh, no, that was about it.
Interesting.
Sorry, I'm a bit toasted after last night's little escapade with the ghouls.
No audio.
About that was only a few hours ago that had happened. Nope, that's okay.
Sorry if I ever interrupt with audio.
It's okay. You guys, so like I said, you had just gotten off the ship. Some of the cast of characters you notice walking around the docks. You do see another very large. This one is a sailing ship. This one is not magically enhanced, like the House Lorender galleon that you took to get here. And you see an orc and a gnome actually standing by the ship, and they seem to be examining the things being loaded onto it. The gnome is wearing very light clothing, like robes, kind of like a cloak and robe kind of outfit. He doesn't look like he'd be much of a sailor, but the orc, on the other hand, does. He's very massive, very powerful. He's got a few tattoos, he's got some scars, and over his shoulder, he is literally holding on to an anchor that appears to be maybe his weapon of choice. As he stands there,
cool.
calling out to people, and the goblins and stuff and hobgoblins are helping load the dock, and it appears to be that he's like probably just dropping some things after doing some trades and stuff like that. So what do you guys want to do?
I mean, I'm here with you, Nari. What do you have?
Well, we have to look for the contact. Sure. Do you want to do that now, or do you have other business you have to attend to?
I mean, the only business I have to attend to is the alcohol. Sorry.
I didn't know your name was Ashara.
You changed it on the way here.
Wait, where are
Presently, I see no reason to delay.
Okay. Then we should go to try and find Phelan. The question is, do we know what Phelan looks like?
The description you were given is that he is a man of relatively average height. He does have a dragon mark of House Orion, dark hair, and he's a very fast talker.
Okay, so we should go to where like House Orion would be, possibly.
Did we not get any information on specifically where he may be in the city?
No, because Lady Eladrin didn't know that, and in the hurry that you guys had to go, that information was unable to be gotten. Everybody know. So, like, what's known about him is that this is like the market specifically in Rukondral, which is nicknamed the Bloody Market.
Oh,
that is where he tends to reside.
Gotcha. Well, in that case, why don't we head for the market and see what we can find? We can either do some searching on the ground by talking to people, or with our eyes if we can find a convenient vantage point.
Okay. That's true. To the market.
Lead the way, tall people.
So you guys get to the market area, and there are just like this ocean of tents. Like, it seems like most of the places in this are there's not a lot of permanent structures, but it's very much like you bring your goods, you set up, you sell, you leave, you go to the next place within the city, or maybe you go somewhere else on that. there's a lot of like exotic smells and things like that coming. There's places like cooking, and you can smell like some different spices that are not normal to the region where you guys are from. And especially from where you were just in Sharn, where everything is very clean, very very crisp. This place is very loud, obnoxious. You have people shouting their wares. You have a guy who has like small various creatures. Some of them appear to be dinosaurs in cages, but just very small, like dog cat size that may have been imported here. People like cooking various types of animals. You're not sure what they are necessarily, but some of it actually smells good, and others it just smells burnt. There's a lot of there's a couple of tents of bladesmiths selling very sharp edged swords, some that have just like jagged edges on the backside. Some of them look to be very old. Some of them look to be scavenged, perhaps from the Mournlands, so they have different design philosophies into them as far as these weapons go. There's helmets, there's armor pieces, nothing that's like of a superior quality, but there is a lot of just different stuff. If there's anything that you'd be like searching for specifically, odds are very good you could find it here, and it's also very possible you could find things that are more illicit than you say could like in other markets of the continent.
Randall gets a little distracted by the some of the stands and goes into one of the armor stands.
Okay.
Just to talk with one of the vendors and say, "Well, how are you doing this morning? Yeah, it's morning, isn't it? How are you doing this morning, friend?"
A hobgoblin looks up at you from his anvil that he's hammering away at, and he says, kind of like gives you this growly, very simple like gaze, like he's a little bit annoyed that you've walked in, but at the same time he may be happy for business, or it's just really really early, so it's hard to tell like what could be the reason for that. But he says, "I'm doing just fine. What can we help you?"
Well, to be honest, I'm just looking for myself a whetstone, if you will. I figure you, with all these fine blades about, you might have some.
Yeah. Hang on. And he hammers out a few more times with big loud clang, sending sparks. And he takes the blade that he's working on, and he dips it into the water, and then he pulls it out quickly and sets it.
Well, for your background.
Sets it up onto a table, and he goes like opens a chest and he starts rummaging around. He's like, yes, I have a whetstone. What of it?
Well, if you're willing to part with a whetstone, I might make it worth your while. I need a new whetstone. I lost mine on the journey here, and my axe is covered in a bit of ghoul blood. And I plan on cleaning it and oiling it, but that doesn't keep it sharp in case I run into more ghouls, if you catch my meaning.
Ghouls? I don't know anything about ghouls, but... And he hands you the stone, and then he turns around and he grabs like a clay pot, and he hands that to you as well. There's oil for your blade.
Appreciate it. And for your trouble, and I hand him a platinum piece.
He takes a moment and he looks at it and he says, "What kind of coin is this?"
Well, this would be a platinum coin from... I'm trying to think of where we came from here.
Sharn.
Sharn, that's it. There'd be a platinum coin from Sharn. Of the Dragon Marked. One of the Dragon Mark clans. Can you hear?
Pardon me for just a second.
Oh. I was like you were looking
Okay,
at me.
I can
like...
hear you now. Sorry, they just have my connection dropped.
Okay.
Yep. Sharn. Yeah, I know the place. I've heard of it. All right.
I mean, it's worth it.
We have a deal then.
If you'd prefer, I can give you gold, the equivalent in gold.
Gold is easier to move in this place.
Then 10
Most of
gold it
the
is.
fellows who live here don't have such fancy coins.
No worries, friend. 10 gold it is. And I hand him a small pouch
So
containing.
the gruff-looking hobgoblin. Okay. He takes the coins and he proceeds to just add them to like a belt pouch that he keeps at his side. Like unbuckles it and he pours them into it. And he says, it's a bit strange you coming here. We don't see many dwarves. Not anymore.
Well, to be fair, I don't see many hobgoblins where I
I
come
imagine you're not sightseeing.
No, not at all. But my business is my business, friend, and I plan to keep it that way if it helps. Unless you want to make a problem of it.
No problem here. That's fine. So why be on your way then? I got more things to sell, more weapons to make, and more people to equip. The world is dangerous.
Indeed it is. Then you see him pull out his flask and look to this hobgoblin and go, cheers. And just take a swig. Well, I'm ready. Ashara?
So when Ishara sees oh man, I've forgotten your character's name.
Randall.
Randall. I got it. Sees Randall slip off. I think she kind of looks after him for a minute, and you can see her in her face weighing whether or not to follow after him. She kind of hitches one shoulder with a shrug, grabs Navari, and heads over to a few stalls of her own. Specifically looking for things that she can parlay into components. There are some weapons that she specifically has to craft. You know, they can't be bought, and it's implied in the Gunslinger book that, you know, or booklet, whatever, that you need to locate some components to do so. So I think that she's looking for those types of things. Probably, you know, like small finicky metal parts. I mean, I don't know gunsmithing in real life, but I imagine that Ishara has a solid idea of the components that she's after to create some more impressive munitions.
I specifically get distracted by the small dinos while getting pulled away.
Scaly puppies.
Scary puppies.
I mean, they look tasty, Navari. They do look tasty.
No, I'm not gonna eat them.
Oh, what the hell do you want them for then?
I don't know. They're cute. What?
I was saying that to Ben because I think he was talking at one point. He's muted.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. You.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Ben.
Am I okay now?
Yeah.
Yep, you're good now. I just saw you talking and I was like,
Okay. Oh no. Okay. No, I had to like. Okay, so we're good. All right.
Yeah.
So no. Ishara, how much time do you want to spend searching the markets for like these components and whatnot, like that you might be hunting for?
Not super long, you know, she'll give herself a good 15-20 minutes, but she's mostly looking to both A, find something useful, and B, keep herself occupied while Randall buys his whetstone.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a. Just roll an investigation check then.
Alrighty. Ugh. That's a 10.
10. Okay. So unfortunately, being like this is like a much more like cruder place, like in like House Cannith does not have an enclave here. You don't find anything that, at least in this amount of time of you like meandering about, you definitely don't find anything that you'd be looking for right now.
Sounds good.
I figured out what I
Yes.
want to look for besides at the small dinos.
Okay.
Vials of acid.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
like a true assassin.
Well, I was thinking Warforged acid,
Possibly. Yeah, that's a good thinking.
and I like opened the
Um,
player's book to listed adventuring gear.
So fairly close to where you guys found the docks, right? So like heading back that direction, you see a character. He's a gnome. His hair's a little frazzled and stuff like that, and he was the one standing with the orc. And he seems to have put up his own, like he seems to be wandering about. He has like a booth, like a tent that they set up with a couple of what are obvious sailors, right? And he says, "Oh yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?"
I'm good. How about you?
It's good. They're fine. We can.
Never entertaining. I said, I'm well. How about
I'll
you?
be right back.
Okay. So the gnome looks up at you and he says, "Ah, yes, my name is Trieg, and what can I help you with? You look very fascinating. I knew a tiefling once. He was very tall and very mysterious. Grandis and I, we met him on one of our sailing journeys."
Oh, cool. I don't think I've met him before. I'm assuming I haven't. Have I?
No,
What? Okay.
no, definitely not.
I don't know him, but that's pretty cool. There's not many of us around.
No, there definitely isn't. We've gone all over the place and we have not seen many of you ever. So this is very fascinating. But what can I do for you? How can we help you? So we have to sail fairly soon, but I was able to set up shop and do some trading and some bartering and some selling. So what can I help you with?
I was wondering, what do you sell here?
I have a few magical trinkets, some strange little relics of forgotten age that I've picked up. Some of them are very fun, some of them are very interesting, and others are very magical.
Ooh, you caught my attention.
So is there anything special that you're looking for? Or are you just out about using and seeing what you can find?
Well, I'm browsing. I was looking for like vials of things, but like I'm open to any like seeing anything cool. Don't laugh
Do you
at
have
the wolf.
anything shiny? She wants shiny things.
No.
I just
You
like
want
vials of
something-
things.
You want something interesting? Well, look at this. This arrowhead. And he pulls out this like very old looking arrowhead. He says, "See, look, we discovered this on the continent of Argonessen. Okay, this is made by the dragon people that live there, that worship the dragons on the island of Argonessen. It says that if you were to, well, I'm not actually sure how it works or if it does anything really, but this is such a unique find, and I could let you have it for a simple price of 28 gold pieces."
Why would I want? Like, I see that it's cool and everything, but why would I want an arrow that we don't know when it does, or if it does
He says,
anything?
"Well," he starts rubbing his hands together and he like closes his eyes and he does a very brief incantation and he casts a spell and the item begins to glow and he says, "You see here, this is magical. It has some kind of enchantment to it, some kind of divine enhancement. I'm not sure what it actually does because I've never tried to use it before, but perhaps you could be the one to find out for 25 gold pieces."
Or we can set up a target and we can both see it for free.
Yes, but what if it runs out of magic? What if it quits working?
I mean, but you'd
All right, all
find
right.
out what it
That's not the
does.
thing for you. That's not the thing for you then. Fine. Let me see what else I have. And you see him like rummaging through, and a lot of this stuff looks like junk, because he seems to be a very like quirky little character. So then he pulls out this yes. I know, perfect thing for the pretty lady. And he pulls out this tiara, and it's made out of like a red metal. It has flames inscribed into it. And he says, what about this beautiful tiara to accent your royal, dignified beauty? I mean, this is such a gorgeous item. I mean, how could you not want this?"
What does it do?
No, I don't know what it does. I just know that it's a little bit magical and it's very fascinating.
It looks pretty.
Does. I'll think on that.
All right.
Do you have
Well,
any
anything-
vials of like acid or anything?
No, we don't carry acid on the ship. Grandis told me I couldn't do that anymore after I had an accident with my alchemy lab.
Oh,
Hole in the ship, and
doesn't sound good.
yeah. So we just have to. I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to have stuff like that anymore.
Do you know someone who might have it?
Oh, in this place, well, I know a man who knows a man who you could ask if you want to know where anything is in this town. You need to go to the Clenched Fist. It is the toughest bar there is. I went there one time and I was like enjoying myself and I was singing and I cast a spell to like make like this beautiful enchantment illusion thing, and then all of a sudden I started floating away. See, sometimes when I cast spells you have to be careful because like things happen that are a little unexplained. I don't quite know what it is, but Grandis has always been very kind to me, and he helps me try to figure out what we can do and like how we can learn. And we visit places and we go on all sorts of exciting adventures. And we have this deck of cards that when you draw from it, all sorts of crazy things happen. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh, that sounds really cool. Out of character, I know what that is.
Randall immediately perks up at the sound of the word bar. Wait, bar? Where?
Yes. Oh, Mr. Dwarf, you look extremely tough. I don't think you'd have any problem getting along with people in there.
Probably not. Unless they called me short, and then we might have an issue.
No, I'm short. You're not short. I mean, look at me. I'm barely 2.5 feet tall. And he starts standing up on his tiptoes to get just that little bit extra height.
Us smaller folk have to stick together, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do. But that's why I hang out with Grandis, my big giant friend, who's also, I should recommend it. That is Captain Grandis Coriander to all of you. One of the most fearsome and greatest pirates to ever sail any seas. We're not quite sure where we are anymore, but we're figuring it out. Trust me. He knows what we're doing.
I like him already.
And you say your captain's name was Grand Coriandus.
Grandis Coriander.
Grandest Coriander. Got it. Thank you. And what was your name again, little one?
Oh, my name is Trieg.
Trieg. Good to meet you. Well met. The name's Randall the Agile.
Well, good to meet you, Mr. Agile. And he grabs like your hand and it's like he just shakes it violently. But like, like if you put any resistance, he wouldn't be able to move it.
I forgot. I'm Navari.
Nice to meet you, Navari.
I forgot to introduce myself. I'm great with names. Go ahead, if you want, Zach.
That was it. Just
No, okay.
Sure.
Like a
little tip of the hat.
Yeah.
Really lean into the cowboy thing.
Makes sense. So can you show me if the tier is magical? You said it was slightly.
Oh, yes. See, I'm not quite sure what it does. All I know is that it has all these like so you look in the inside and it has a strange inscription, but I don't know how to read it. It's in a language that I can't read. But you see this little picture here? This looks like some kind of like beetle-y thing. So I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it glows when I cast detect magic on it, which is one of those spells that I've learned. But I always have to be careful when I cast spells because, like I told you, sometimes weird things happen. Like the one time I turned myself into a plant.
How'd you unbecome a plant?
I don't know.
What Navari?
Brandon
If it
said they're just kind of used to things going weird and wonky with me, so I just kind of waited and I turned back.
What were you saying, Randall?
I was gonna let you know that give it a day. I don't have the proper magics prepared for today, but I could be able to detect magic on the item and tell you what it does, possibly.
Do you want me to get it now?
It's up to you. We could always come back.
They
Assuming
set
it's
sail
still
soon.
here.
He set
I said
sail
assume.
soon. Oh,
assuming it's
how
still
long
here,
are you
that's
gonna
on you.
be here for?
I'm not really good with time. Grandis said not long. Maybe a day, maybe 2 days, maybe a week. I'm not really sure. But what I do know is that you should buy it today because this is the best deal you will find anywhere in this marketplace.
What's the deal?
75 gold pieces.
Sounds expensive.
No, it's not expensive at all. This is a beautiful crown. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Trig,
I mean,
no offense, friend, but you don't know what the item does. For all you know, it could horribly maim the lady. Though it's shiny and pretty, it could kill her. And you don't know that it won't. So charging an exorbitant amount like such...
That's not an exorbitant amount. Listen here. I don't know that I could maim her. Even I could maim her by accident. I'm not saying that I've accidentally done that before. Because sometimes things just don't... They just get weird.
But what I mean, Trig, here, is that no one's going to pay you 75 gold for you to accidentally maim somebody.
You don't know that. And I won't promise that you won't get accidentally maimed by this tiara, but the worst thing that could happen is you just let it go and then I sell it to somebody else and then all their dreams come true.
How about this? I'll take it for 50 gold. And we'll never mention the maiming thing again.
Randall, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Oh, good. I am built in charisma.
To me too. Did you get a 1?
20.
Oh.
Nope. So with persuasion, that'd be a 22.
So Trig hems and haws for a minute. He's just like, okay. How about this? 55 gold pieces.
I mean, if you'd like, and I looked to Navari, I'll spot the 5 platinum if you want to spot the 5 gold.
Sure.
And you can get your fancy trinket and we'll see what it does.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't kill you.
I mean, I won't put it on until we find out. And maybe
Sounds good.
afterwards I might not even put it on. We'll see.
And I take out 5. I reach into one of my deeper pockets and I pull out 5 platinum pieces and I go, 50 gold's worth of platinum, friend.
Oh, I know what those are. Don't you worry about that one bit. Randus Coriander and I know lots about gold and money and treasure and sailing.
I give him 5 gold as well.
And then he hands you the tiara, and as you take it in your hand, it just has this like, so you make contact with it, and for a brief moment, it feels very warm, and it buzzes like just a.
I don't like it, and I give it to Randall. Hold on to.
Well, my people are resistant to magic. It's fine. And I just kind of shove it into the haversack.
Okay.
So, what? Just one unknown crown?
Yeah.
Or tiara?
Yep.
Okay.
So maybe at the Clenched Fist, which is the bar, we can find acid, and maybe we can find more about the mark of House Aaron.
Oh, House Orion. Yes.
Orion.
I will let you roll a knowledge. Anybody who has knowledge arcana?
Not me.
Okay. What about anybody have history?
Have history.
Do I?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's
Go ahead
do
and
the
roll
thing.
history, and I'll tell you what you definitely will know about this house.
All right. Well, that one's going to be a 17.
Okay, perfect. So House Orion is, they have the Mark of Passage. And what the Mark of Passage allows its bearers to do is travel freely, very easily. So some of them can like run faster, they can jump higher, they can do things like pass without trace, they can teleport, the most highest level, most powerful bearers of this mark can actually use teleportation circles. So if you could afford their services, generally they mostly deal with like traveling and things. They're the ones who pull in the lightning rail. But yes, they're most the highest thing that they do is that they can actually teleport you to another enclave that has a teleportation circle. But it's very expensive because it's not it's not a like a common trait amongst them,
Mhm.
but it is something they can do. They also use it to transport goods, things of that nature, and yeah. So you guys want to go to the Clenched Fist.
Seems as good a place as any to gather some information. And a little bit up Ishara's alley, honestly.
Yeah, this place is possibly.
Does it have saloon doors?
It does have saloon doors.
I'm kicking them open.
Wait, hang on a second. So when you get there, the first thing that catches your eye is the placard above the door displays a mummified ogre's hand clenched tightly in a fist and nailed in place. This extremely rundown tavern appears to cater to humans and other members and members of the other common races. So like this place is kind of like the outsiders bar, not so much like the goblin bar in this place. There's no music playing, but it is fairly busy, and you could see that there is a single person working behind the bar right now, and there's a couple of runners going to tables, clearing them, bringing out more drinks and things of that nature. There's definitely like a small there's an area there's a corner area where it's a little bit elevated and kind of like a ramshackle stage of sorts. So that way, when there are performances, like there definitely is a place for them to be. But yeah, this is definitely the right place.
Fantastic.
So as the three of you walk in, you see like a card game being played, and people kind of look up and like, oh, out, new guys kind of thing. And the bartender spits on the floor, bing, and he's cleaning a glass, and he says, "Oh, what you be having?"
Information, if you please.
What kind of information? You're not here to start any trouble, are you?
Randall slides a gold coin on the table and says, "I'll take a shot of whiskey before you get mad at him."
The bartender takes the coin, checks it briefly, reaches for a glass that he doesn't take any he doesn't practice maybe good hygiene and stuff. So like you see like his fingers in the glass as he pulls it out and slams it down, and he pours you a shot, pours himself a shot, slams it back.
Randall
Cheers!
slams his back. It's like it's whiskey. It kills everything. It's fine.
Yeah, he does a little bit of a shimmy, but not much. It's like this guy's a drinker. So, lass, what kind of information do you want?
Looking for a member of House Orion.
I don't know anybody of the houses here. They don't exactly come in and advertise who they work for or who they belong to.
Don't suppose you know a fellow by the name of Phelan? Dark hair, about yay high. Talks a little fast from what I hear.
He does this like polite, kind of looks around. He says, "You're not bounty hunters, are you?"
Not today.
And then he kind of nods, and you look like you turn around to the direction he nods, and then in a corner table, there is a there's a man sitting alone. He's kind of gangly. He's got his hair is kind of unruly. It's red. He has bright blue eyes, and he's definitely older. He's definitely well dressed, and he watches as you guys kind of approach him.
As we're walking over, Randall kind of leans into Ashara a little bit and go, "You're not so subtle, are you, lass?"
About as subtle as the tools that I work with.
Randall just immediately is like, "Okay, be a long day." He just kind of steps back away from you from a little bit behind, pulls out the great axe and just has it sitting like this on his shoulders, like,
It's gonna be a long few weeks.
Probably.
So this guy is definitely not Phelan. He doesn't match the description. But
It's like, because Phelan had dark hair.
I'm guessing the idea is this might be the guy to ask. Well dressed, maybe a contact for the houses, something like that.
Maybe. I also wanted. I don't need it, but acid.
So he looks at you guys and he says, "Oh, you asking about Phelan, huh?"
Yes.
Yeah, Shara just kind of nods.
What do you need Phelan for?
Who's asking?
I'm asking. What are you looking for Phelan for?
So I'm immediately picking up on the fact this guy's talking very fast.
Yeah, this might be him.
There are a lot of ways to change hair color. I'm curious. Having clocked that,
So you gonna say something, or you just gonna stand there all day?
we've been sent by someone I believe is an old friend of his, named Lady Eladrin. Ring a bell?
With that, like he tries to, let's see, he tries to keep a poker face, but he definitely, like, his eyes do light up when you say that, and it's very obvious. He says, okay. So you know her. What do you need? What are you here for? Is she okay? Is she alive? Is she doing well? Obviously, she must be doing well. She sent you to see me.
Things were a little hairy when we left Sharn.
A little hairy. That sounds about right.
And she's gonna sit uninvited at his table, just in case, one hand on the revolver, and Han Solo style. And she'll just say, somewhat quietly, trying not to project too much, looking for the schema.
Sit down at the table too.
Did she send you with any kind of mail? Any kind of letter?
I pull out the
Anything to
letter
prove
and
who
I pull out the letter and I show him.
Now sit down. Both of you, sit down. All of you, sit. He takes the letter and he reads it. He's like, Rose Quarry.
Wolf, you're
very-
muted.
Near the border.
Randall pulls over to the bar and just sits up on a stool.
He's
see him having a heart-to-heart with the bartender. Keeping an eye out, mind you. He's not getting drunk, but he's keeping an eye on his friends. Yeah.
So listen here. It's gonna cost you each 60 gold pieces up front. You need to pay me 40 a piece. You bring your own supplies. I'll get you there. No questions asked. Nothing else to do. I can do it quickly. Nobody else can do it faster. We have to leave soon.
Wait, 60 gold pieces. Or what?
Yes,
He
60
said
gold
60
pieces each.
gold
You think I'm gonna send you there for free?
No, I just wanted to make sure because you said 60 and then I heard a 40.
No, you gotta pay me 40 up front. The other 20 on the way back when we get there. When I get you back there safely.
Why not 30 and 30?
I said 40.
Oh, okay. But I'm asking why not 30 and 30? Is there a reason?
Because if you don't make it, I want to make sure I got most of it up front.
Let's say 40 up front, 10 on arrival.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
All right, I'm okay at those, but right now my cat is occupying both my hands, so give me a second. Got to do some. Also, hello, dear viewers. This is Sparta.
Sparta!
She wants
not
all
like
the
this new
attention.
She's like, Dad, I am not okay with this new house.
She's actually very okay. Okay, here we go. Persuasion. Okay, that plus 4 is a 15.
And I want 20 on the way back. Now listen here. You want to get there safely? You want to get there quickly? You're going to come with me, okay? Are we ready to go? I got the land card out back. Let's get your supplies. Let's get loaded up. Let's move.
Okay.
You got
What are we expecting along the way where we might not make it back?
Listen here. We're in here into the nation of Dargun, okay? There are goblins who are not exactly on the up and up here with Lesh Harak, all right? He may be in charge, but he's not in charge of everybody. There are burglars, there are robbers, there are monsters.
Got it.
And listen here. If you fall behind, I'm going to ditch you.
Okay.
He was a goblin, right?
No, he's human.
Oh, he's human. Okay. I just wanted to recall what he was because I was like, man, goblins are really freaking fast when they want to run.
Oh wait, he's of House Grand, so he's probably fast
Orion.
to begin with. Whatever. So he's probably fast to begin with.
He definitely has, and like as you like examine him closely, you can see like even though he's wearing sleeves, like some of his dragon mark does come down to the back of his hand, so you definitely can see that he has those magical tattoos. So it's very possible that he knows he has a few tricks up his sleeve for sure.
Okay. Randall, come here.
So you coming with me? Are we leaving together?
One
Wait,
sec. Randall,
what is it, Navari?
get
What?
over here.
I was getting some drinks from the bartender.
Come over.
What?
Come over here.
What is it? What?
Are you over here now?
Yeah, no, I'm over here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What?
We have to pay him too for
Wait,
passage.
what? For the hell do we need passage for?
He's taking us to where we need to go.
I thought.
Listen, I'm going to take you to Rose Quarry. I'm going to take you to the town that used to be a town, but now it's not a town, and it's right there on the border of the Grey Mist in the Mournland. Okay, so you see here, and I'm going to take you there, and you're going to find what you're looking for, and then we're going to get out of there. We're going to get out of there quickly. You're going to have about 8 hours to look around, all right? Because I'm not messing around, because I'm not risking my neck for more than else. But the thing is, you're doing this for Lady Eldrin, who stuck up for me a little while ago and helped me out of a jam I was in, and that's why I'm still alive today. And I'm one of the only people here that is willing to take this journey with my elemental cart. So listen here, we're going quickly now.
I caught most of that speed talker person thing. The fact of the matter is, I don't understand why we're paying you for anything when you're repaying a favor of a life owed.
Listen here, I don't owe her my life, and I don't owe you my life. I am doing this as a little bit of maybe gain some favor, a little bit kind of thing, But either way, it doesn't matter, okay? She's not here. All I have is a letter saying that she knows you and she sent you here to me because I can help you get where you want to go to find, well, whatever it is you're looking for.
Those dice rolls.
I'm fast. I'm silent. And more importantly, you will not find a horse, even a Valinar horse, that can get you to Rose Quarry as fast as I can and as safely as I can. Now listen here. We need to move quickly because that is going to mean we're safe.
I give him 40 gold.
Same here. Ben, question for you. Is this going to end up being anywhere near my hometown that I'm trying to get to?
Or my hometown.
It is right on the border of Seer. So it is actually in that direction.
I hand him 4 platinum pieces and I say, so long as you keep the 2 young ones safe, I don't give a crap what it costs.
I'll do my best, but I make no promises, okay? If you get dismembered, if you get eaten, if you get attacked by something, listen here. We'll all do our best to defend ourselves, but I am not going down with the ship, and I'm not dying for anybody who wants to stand there and fight it out and die.
Oh, no. I look at him and I lean in real freaking close, and I get my grizzled face, but my neatly trimmed goatee in his face, and I just look at him and go, now listen here. I don't care what happens to me, but I won't watch any more friends die. So you make sure you get these 2 back safe, regardless of the situation. Or I swear to God, I'll come back and haunt you on the goddess's life. And I'll make an intimidation check. Yeah, I'm making a straight up intimidation to make sure that he does the job. That is not great, but that's still a 12. No, yeah, 12.
So definitely. Okay, so he definitely understands the sobriety in which you are speaking to him, and he understands the seriousness.
Yeah.
He politely says, "All right, I'll do my best."
And I lean back. I hand him the 4 platinum, and then I said, "Well, let's get on the road then, shall we?"
And he claps his hands. He says, "Yes, let's get on the road. You guys are in for a treat. You see, here's the thing about my cart. It has an earth elemental bound to it, so this thing is going to feel like you're flying, except on the ground." And he takes you guys through the side back door, and he leaves a small handful of coins for the bartender. So as you guys go out onto the streets of Rukon Vral, we're going to move my camera here to... Oops.
Oh.
We fell.
Oh, the world's turning. Gravity shifted. We're falling sideways.
Oh no.
You got our view just turned into what Randall's probably life looks like right now.
I like to think we walked out and just tripped.
All right.
So you guys are coming
just out of out of character, Randall I straight wanted to have Randall be like, "I've ridden a Earth Elemental once. It wasn't fun."
Did
For
you
no better
really?
reason than just no, I didn't. But in a drunken stupor, I believe I did once.
We all have our war stories, Randall.
It's true.
I can't remember most of mine.
Probably for the best.
True.
Agreed.
So as you guys step out, as a group together,
Two Warforged emerge.
Yeah, pretty much.
there
Oh,
are
I'm
three
sorry, 3. Oh no, there's a hobgoblin.
bugbears. They appear to be waiting for him to come out, and you just hear one of them growl, "Phelan, you cheat us!" And they raise their weapons in threatening positions, and Phelan is just like, guys, can you help me out with this real quick? These guys think that I'm just gonna ask you guys to roll initiative right now. How's that sound?
All right.
What if we try and talk our way out of it?
I was about to say, but yeah, that's going to be on our initiative. I'm
can
guessing
try, but I'm putting you in initiative order because
that's going to turn sideways quick.
these guys are ready to go.
Yeah, 13.
22 for Ishara.
13 for Navari.
And in typical Randall fashion, with the agility of a turtle, 3.
Nice.
Gotta love them 4 rolls on a -1 dexterity modifier.
Oof.
And then you have like Ashley was like, "Oh, I rolled a 4, 10 initiative." What?
Well, I guess you're going first. It's like if we roll a 10 at the same time, I guess you're going first because even though I rolled higher, my agility sucks.
Meanwhile, I can add charisma and dexterity.
All
got
right.
charisma.
So, Ishara, you see these 3 bugbears. They approach Phelan, and the first one immediately goes, "Phelan, you cheated us." What do you want to do?
I think that in once again traditional like gunslinger cowboy movie fashion, while the bugbear is focused on Phelan, she's quick drawing, and of course we get the nice little the little spins as they come up into her hands.
Okay.
So she levels one towards the one who's talking, one towards the one on the other side, and
Mhm.
says, "Why don't we all slow things down just a little before someone gets hurt?"
All right. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check as you do that.
Alrighty, and since I'm assuming talking is counting as a free action, I'll just have an action ready to pop off a shot if it comes to that. And then I'm proficient, so 18 for persuasion. Yeah, 14, 2 and 2.
Okay. The brutish bugbears do not seem impressed by your display or hindered by your attempt to talk them out of clubbing this man, and they begin to surround him. "Listen, this doesn't have anything to do with you. This has to do with business between us and him. He told us that he was going to take us somewhere and get us there without being seen. And guess what? We were seen. We turned around. We came back. We want our money back."
May I make a warning shot with my ready to attack?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to do some kind of, relatively impressive display of gunmanship that will unsettle them, like nicking one of them in the ear or knocking a weapon out of one of their hands or something like that. Maybe, did you say the one who's talking is holding like a club or something?
Yeah, they all have clubs. They're just like, varying.
Okay. So maybe I'll shoot the club that the apparent leader is holding with the hopes that we'll get that nice movie, like, you shoot the club and it just kind of turns into splinters effect.
Okay, so if you're aiming for his weapon, and have you roll with disadvantage.
Okay, I'll go ahead and spend a grit point to gain advantage, so just, level it out.
Okay.
That is 1 of 5. And that's going to be... the natural roll is the 7, but I have okay pluses.
Oh no. We lost Rue.
I was gonna say his camera just froze on the face.
Oh no. Of course.
Hey, I mean, it did on you earlier when you were you snickered or giggled, and then all of a sudden it snapped back, and then you were like doing this with your hand. I'm like, wait, what? What happened?
I don't think I have an image to put over his face.
Don't you have his image?
Either.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go. He's muted now. He's unmuted.
Right.
Rue.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I went to click into my character sheet to double check my bonus and accidentally clicked close.
It's okay. Your picture just froze on
Rose.
the not
Okay,
not a
that's
very
fine.
flattering picture.
Yeah, very good.
It was just a. It was great.
Oh yeah,
All
we're
right.
not going to edit that out either because that was funny.
That's fine. Okay, so I am at a 15. That is 1-5.
So you hear bang, and your shot soars past the bugbear, not striking it or its weapon.
Hopefully, he thinks I planned that. He
Uh,
doesn't know I was
the-
aiming
I
for the
planned
weapon.
it all along.
The speaker kind of points. He's like, "All right, that one's mine. You guys take care of Phelan and get that money back." And they start swinging at him, and he quickly ducks low and dodges out of the way, having a surprising amount of agility for someone who seems to be as old as he is. Was like the kind of lead bugbear comes around over to here to deal with Ishara.
Yep, that's where we're at.
Randall leans into you and goes, "Yeah, you're definitely not tactile at all, are you?"
I'm very tactile, but I think you were searching for tactive funk.
No, tactical. You know, the whiskey has a strange effect on me mind after a while.
Really, I think it's the intended effect. I like the idea that we have this repartee as the fight is actually starting, so we're dodging and fighting,
Yeah.
while also
Well,
smart alecking back and forth.
See, that's the funny thing, though. You're like dodging, weaving, and you just see Randall like taking blows and hitting his armor and bouncing off, and he's just like, "So am I supposed to fight
fine.
these guys?"
I mean, I was
So
gonna try.
Navoli, what would you like to do?
Oh well, I wanted to try and avoid a fight.
I'm with you, lass.
To be fair, I tried.
Yeah, but then you fired. All right, guys. Guys, how much does he owe you?
So they pause for a second, as if thinking about the numbers, and he's like, let's see. They owes us 60 gold pieces, 40 gold pieces for an inconvenience fee, and another 100 because that one started a brawl with us.
I look at Ishara.
I mean, you wouldn't be the biggest men I've killed.
Not helping the situation, lass.
I'm just
So-
saying, we can end the situation. We have the tools.
You could certainly try.
Listen,
I don't
I
like it when the DM
spent-
says things like that.
Ben, how many years did the Great War last? The last war? Sorry.
More than your lifetime.
Yeah. I've spent most of my waking life dealing with slime like this who think that they can take what they want because they carry big sticks. If you want to let that stand, you certainly can.
Phelan, how much did they give you?
He says, really? This is really not the best time to be talking about this, Les. Okay, listen. Part of what he says is true. They did pay me 60 gold pieces total to get them where they're going. But here's the thing. I didn't cheat them. They simply failed to do their own thing. And that is not my problem.
Inside
Phelan's a mood.
Randall did it or wanted to do an inside check.
Well, I was saying like it's your turn. So do you
Oh,
do we
I'll
believe him?
do it. I'll do an insight
Yeah.
check. I'm not proficient in it. Oh, a natural 20.
There you go.
Well, there might be something that Phelan isn't upfront about, but he's not lying. Like you guys like get the the bugbears definitely feel like they were cheated, but he's not like being dishonest about anything. At least clearly dishonest. Not like when he was trying to hide like that he knew Lady Eladrin, but like he gave that up really quickly just by his facial expressions.
True, he's not much of a liar.
I think we can avoid a fight if we talk it out.
All right. Well, Mr. Agile, it's your turn.
Agile's holding the mug from the tavern, the wooden mug with his ale from the bar.
Yep.
He's got his axe in the other hand over his shoulder. Looks to his ale, looks to his axe, and goes, Randall, Mr. Hobgoblins, bugbears? Bugbears.
Bugbears.
Sorry. I'm seeing like triplets here. I gotta ask, have you turned sideways and you run? Randall, is that what happened?
Randall's your name.
Sorry. Phelan, that's it. That's the guy I'm talking to. And I swing my axe out to Phelan.
Listen. Things turned sideways. I was not getting paid. Nowhere was it in our deal that I stand and fight.
They're saying that they paid you,
They did. They paid me to take them somewhere, and things got bad, and then I took off.
but isn't a part of your deal to take them back safely?
Only if it's not against my best interest to survive.
And Randall, did they pay you up front?
Yes.
And how much did they pay you up front, friend?
They paid me 60 gold pieces up front.
For all three of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look here, friends. I'm not in the
And we got a
mood-
raw deal.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I'm eyeing Randall or Phelan the entire time I'm talking to him about this cost. Obviously, what we're doing must be much more stupid than what the bugbears did. I look to the bugbear leader who's off to my side here, and I go, now look, I'll pay you the 60 gold for Phelan to forget the whole ordeal so we don't have to have any bloodshed. I will not pay an exorbitant amount of 40 extra, and I can't speak to me friends, loose cannon shots over there. So that's between you and her in terms of that, but I will give you back your money for what you spent. Beyond that, there's going to be bloodshed, and I guarantee you friends and I are not going to be having fun.
All right. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Ah, crap. I'm a proficient in intimidation. Should have been trying to scare him more. Persuasion. That's a 15.
So
And
they
I'm
continue to-
I'm still holding my axe. I've got my axe pointed at Randall, and I'm still holding my mug of ale. And I'm like, "Are we doing this, or are we gonna?"
You mean Phelan?
Phelan, yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm bad with the names. Navari already knows this.
Yeah. Truly is.
And he's holding his ale, and he's like, "If we're doing this, I'm finishing my ale first."
That's a move.
And you can see he's clearly like he's not even fearful of these guys.
So for the moment, everybody's eyes are on what appears to be their ringleader, who is
Yep.
right in front of Ashara.
Yep, and that's who I'm talking specifically with. I'm eyeballing him because I'm right next to him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, 60 gold. We part ways. You guys, no better off, but no worse off. And we call it good, and you never use its services again. Else there be bloodshed, and I really don't want to have to do the paperwork on your deaths.
Is it a lot of
'Cause you know
paperwork?
the goddess help me. I'll be filing with the guards to deal with whatever happens after this.
So he looks at you and he says, "Don't let us see you in this town again." Well, next time money and talk won't be enough. Save you from our wrath. And they all kind of relax their weapons.
And I slide my axe back into my sheath. I take a huge swig of my ale and I hand them 3 platinum and 30 gold.
He takes a moment to count because
Yeah. That's why I gave him 3 platinum. Because I didn't want to be here all day.
and they say, if we see you in this town again, and you cross us, we'll have your heads.
Is that to Phelan or to all of us?
To all of you.
Oh, what did I do?
Guilty by association.
I look to Phelan and I say, I guess we're getting that 20 gold free now, aren't we, friend?
He says, I suppose I can't. I suppose I can't argue with that. I guess, but let's please let's go. Let's go.
Indeed, let's go. Lead the way, Speedy Mean.
Our friends show up, friends or well wishers or those who we haven't known because we like things are a little bit hairy as you can see. So he takes you over to his cart, and this thing is. So he leads you guys to outside of the town, to a large stone outcropping in a secluded area, which isn't too far away. He rolls up his right sleeve, and you can see the full dragon mark tattoo that he has. And he touches that mark to the stone. He mutters a strange word, and he steps back as the stone begins to rumble, and a strange covered wagon emerges from the rock wall. The four-wheeled vehicle has a canvas cover that encloses a large rear compartment, while an open bay at the front features a bench and a footwell. The wagon appears to be made out of wood, but an undulating pattern of constantly shifting rock, gems, and crystalline structures seems to overlay the wagon's wooden frame. And he says, "My land cart, earth elemental powered. Get in. Time's short. Long road ahead. Let's go."
Get in. And I ask him, exactly how many people have you upset in this town?
Don't you worry about it, miss. Let's go.
Randall lays down in the back of the wagon and just starts snoring. You just hear this loud as he's starting to sleep off that elf and ghoul fight before. Oh, yeah. You just see him snoring it out, though. And he's bleeding off his alcohol drinks.
Mm-hmm. So as you guys board the cart, the elemental bound cart rumbles with a sound like Eberron itself stirring from an ancient sleep. The wheels slide partially into the earth itself, and the cart slides along without regard to broken ground or obstacles. The journey is about 6-7 hours, and you guys are going at a very good speed. Like if we were to break it down round by round, you're going about like 90 feet per round, so like 3 times as fast as you can like walk. It's a really good pace considering this thing has no horses. It is literally just being powered by an earth elemental. And he stops like for like a midday break. Says, I need to take a break. I just want to get something to eat. This is a nice spot for you. I've stopped here before. And he takes you guys to like a nice brook, like a very pleasant area. You can see that like, this place probably wasn't directly hit with the war. And the water here has like this reddish kind of tint to it from probably clay or something underneath.
I was going to say Randall spends the time undonning his armor and goes into the brook and takes a bath because he wants to wash off after the ghoul fight and everything else. He hasn't really had a chance to clean. So he's basically in what you would equivalent to a loincloth basically from his armor and just laying in the water. And you see bubbles.
I'm gonna keep a lookout for anyone.
Everybody's like, I don't need to see that.
I don't think anybody wants to see it.
I'm gonna quickly use the restroom again. I'm sorry, but I'll have her keep a lookout.
Are you doing anything like anything? I'm trying to think of a word. What are you up to right now?
Me or Ashara?
Ashara.
Okay.
Because are you here on watch?
Yeah.
Just kind of keeping an eye out on the horizon, making sure everything's safe.
So I have two things, but they can probably be done simultaneously. She is going to be starting the process of crafting a couple of new weapons, and I imagine that at this point it's very much like, just carving out the stock, getting the basic bits put together. She has her tinkerer
Yeah.
set, so it's implied she has at least some basic supplies. So she's kind of building
Yeah.
out the shells.
Okay.
But I would like to talk to Phelan a little bit to ask him what it would take to convince him to take us, or perhaps me, to a second destination in the Mournlands.
So first, like as you bring that up, he says, you want me to take you to the Grey Mist, to the place where all the dead are, and the spells and the monsters, the place where nobody comes back from, the place
She
where the
just-
subject we go, and then some kind of horrible monster ambushed us, and I took off flying away in a very quick heap. And well, there were 4 of them, so apparently one of them didn't make it.
Oh, that makes so much more
Yes.
sense.
Those Mournlands. In case there was any ambiguity.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I suppose. Well, how about this? How about price negotiated based on if we find anything interesting?
Well, I can guarantee that if you take me to the place that I am looking to go, we will find many interesting things, some of which I may be convinced to part with. And she takes out, oh man, I can't believe I've forgotten the guy's name, but the pistol from her partner who died during the last war, because she retrieved it at the end of that scene.
Mhm.
Do you have notes? Are you checking?
I am checking my notes right now.
Fantastic.
Okay, I'm back. What I miss?
Out of curiosity, Ben, just a side note too, while you're checking that, would the Templars and the Silver Flame Church been a part of the Great War at one point or another? Like they would have assisted.
Absolutely.
Okay.
More so, your country was actually at times also at war with Seer.
I mean,
Oh man, that's my country.
Yeah, alliances shifted frequently during the war.
Yeah.
Yes.
What once
not
was your
like really-
ally became quickly Order 66.
Yeah. And like Thrain lost some territory, but then held their ground pretty well against Seer and Karnath. So you pull out the pistol that belonged to Gorlock.
Gorlock, that's what it was. And she'll just kind of, hit a couple springs and take it apart a little bit. And the weapons of my people are sacred. And they're not something that I would part with lightly. But what's left in the Mournlands is precious beyond words to me, and any legacy that I could hope for my people to have after the day of mourning. This is only one small piece of what can be found there. And you will have more than your share if you can help me find it.
Sounds like we have a deal because I know some folk who can move things illicitly, and we can definitely make a little bit of money on the side here. I am in to take you guys to where you want to go, unless it gets too dangerous, in which case I'm not
I
standing in
understand.
that. I'm glad you understand, because the nasty fellows apparently did not. So after like still an hour or so goes by, you guys can like enjoy like a quick lunch and bathe, relax, make a little progress on some different things. You get back in the cart and continue on, and about another like 6 hours or so go by, and the sun begins to set and the moons begin to rise, and he stops kind of like on a nice hill, and he once again beckons you guys to get off, and he commands the cart to sink into the ground to hide it. He says, "Now, I'm not going any closer to Rose Quarry than this. That village used to belong to Seer, but now it lies within the goblins' territory. You probably already know that House Cannith had prospectors that built the village, and they found a whole bunch of red marble. And dwarves were brought in from the Marholds to mine and excavate. And anywhere you see architecture, you might see, of House Cannith and that rose marble, such as Sharn, Flamekeep, Korth, even Rukandrol itself. Half the redstone in Corvair probably came from this quarry." And he gives you guys he says, "Now follow me," and he leads you on foot. So I want you guys to roll. He's acting very cautiously when he walks. So why don't you guys go ahead and roll perception checks? Okay.
Oh, perception. I was expecting stealth.
I was
Yes, same
expecting
here.
stealth too.
That's all right. I got a 24.
Okay.
With a 0 in perception, I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 4.
Is that a nat 1 for you, Ash?
No, it was a 3 plus 1. Thank you very
okay.
much.
I was just asking.
I'm not perceptive. I'm charming. I'm dexterous.
Oh, okay.
Extras.
Yep, dexterous and kind of intelligent. Kind of have high constitution. I am
Kinda
not
hardy.
strong, and I'm
To be
not
fair,
wisdom.
I mean, a +1 wisdom is still above human average. Average is
Well,
10.
Yeah, I know. I'm below human average for dex.
As you guys creep up on this rocky outcropping, Navari, as you look over, you notice that the quarry, which extends for at least a mile, and the small village nearby spreads across like a plateau. Well, at least what's left of it. Anything that was ever made out of wood has been burned to cinders. There's a handful of stone facades, rock foundations, and chimneys still popped out throughout the place. The village appears to be covered in ice, and it glitters in the light of the rising moons, despite the fact that it is quite warm. It's summertime. But you also notice another source of light in the southern part of the village, and that appears to be a fire glowing, and surrounding it are 4 large tents, and you can see the shadows of figures moving around the makeshift campsite. Navari, that's exactly what you see. Randall, you also notice with your dark vision aiding you that nearby there's at least like a makeshift pen with 16 horses, a few wagons. There appear to be half a dozen human figures wearing armor and helmets. Ishara,
Mhm.
you notice that some of these people, like the helmeted people, have a very distinct half faceplate, which covers. So, like the plate comes from one side of the helmet and covers predominantly half their face.
Mhm.
It's very aesthetic design, and there's nothing like superior to that kind of design. But you also realize from your experiences in the past, the way that a few of these characters are wandering, they have very stiff movements and appear to be resurrected corpses.
She just bares her teeth and growls Cannith again.
Galen looks at you guys and he whispers, "Hey, were you expecting company?"
Not this much company.
No, were you expecting company?
No,
Well, we should
that's why I'm staying.
Oh. Well, where we're going?
Okay, so we have 8 of these undead humanoid figures patrolling around the stables, but then there are 4 tents, and then there are more figures over near the tents.
Yeah, there's some like figures near the tents. There's some like appear to be on patrol throughout the place. Um,
So we're seeing some
Thankfully-
pretty significant numbers here.
yeah, but based on like the directions and stuff, the place that you are looking for, which is the old refinery,
Mhm.
is not very close to their campsite.
Excellent.
I look at both of my compatriots who look far more nimble than me and look and say, or are we aiming to be stealthy here? Or...
Oh, I can
'Cause-
help you if you're not very stealthy.
How can you help?
You just see Randall take a step back and look at himself and look at the armor he's wearing and kind of go like,
I pull
I mean-
out the scarf of the sky's self.
Well, oops. I mean, that's not going to make him sneakier.
No,
That's not
but
gonna
it'll
make me
make him.
quiet.
It'll make him look. You can look like one of them.
That's
The
true.
undead.
I
If they're
don't know
undead,
how
they
I-
might not be very smart.
You
If our
see-
target is far, our target's far from the encampment, we honestly may be able to give it a wide enough berth that your noise will be less at issue, hopefully.
I just wanted to give you fair warnings that
I
me and
empathize.
my crew are my old friends. We never used to be the quiet bunch. We tended to head first into danger, or I tended to draw the danger to us. Memories hazy in these old days, and I've been alive for a long time. A lot of things get
Ishara kind of offers a lopsided grin and says, so you're not terribly subtle then, are you?
I don't think
When
either
it-
of you are.
when it comes to being quiet, no.
Neither of you are subtle.
I am a little ostentatious at times, I admit.
Do you want
He
the
takes a swig from his flask.
Do you want the scarf of the sky self in case it goes downhill?
I can tell you right now that if it goes downhill, I have no intention of disguising myself. I have a deep, deep-seated hatred for the undead and using their bodies for unnatural means. It goes against everything that we at the Silver Flame Church believe in.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I didn't see all of the people, but Ashara said there was a lot of people.
I agree. And a
And-
lot of undead. And if I have to, I'll do what I did to the ghouls on the boat.
Okay.
All right. Can we see the refinery that we're trying to get to from here?
Look
There
at Ben preparing the minis
all
in
the
case.
crap on the field, yeah.
I've just got tons of toys. That's
Out
all.
of,
Don't
out
worry
of
about
curiosity, Ben, it has not been. We have not gotten, technically speaking, a long rest since our encounter with the ghouls. Correct?
No, you did you were able to yes, you did have enough time from that encounter to have what would be a long rest because of the ship travel.
Okay.
But since you've been in Rukandral, you've only had a short rest.
Just checking because I used up more than a few of my things on the
I
ghouls.
remember that.
So I was like,
You vaguely remember that.
I'm still sitting light on channel divinities and a couple of other different abilities.
Yep.
And if we get into an undead fight, Randall's gonna want all those things.
Oh, yeah. You need
I
your smite
remember.
slots back.
My what?
Smart.
Your smite slots?
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking more about the fact that I can turn my weapon into a sacred weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That plus charisma to hit don't hurt.
Nope. And it makes it a magical weapon, which means it negates most non-magical effects.
All right. So I know you guys have been you guys were discussing potential courses of action. So what are you thinking about doing?
Sounds like basically just casting a wide berth around the refinery, hoping to around their encampment, hoping to avoid any unnecessary encounters. and trying to put enough distance between us that our friend's clankiness is not too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the preliminary stealth checks, we're looking at a 3.
The rest of you roll stealth checks as well, please.
Oh, I was just. I was. Shit.
I got a 26.
Okay.
Randall accidentally walks into the encampment and goes, "Hey, this doesn't look like the bathroom." Ashara!
Did you roll a 1?
No, I rolled a 4 again.
Ishara, did we lose you?
He,
The mic's acting up.
Yep.
I rolled an 18 plus 5 plus 3.
Nice.
Because
Do you
double
not- is-
proficiency.
Oh, that would be +4, wouldn't it? Be not +3?
No. Oh, wait, plus 2. I'm sorry, 25. My bad, 25. I forgot our proficiency bonus wasn't plus 3.
Because then it would be +6.
No, because normally it's plus 5 because I'm proficient, and then you add 2.
If you're on roll 20 using your character sheet, you can add expertise to a skill.
Oh,
Go to
Oh.
the settings.
it's fine.
Oh, I'm just letting you know for later. You can do
Okay.
that though. If you go to the settings on your character sheet, it'll allow you to do that.
Okay. I believe in you, Rue. Can't hear you. Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Mm.
Did you try turning off your camera? Because sometimes it likes to try and go through the camera.
Test.
Yep.
Hey, there you are.
Sometimes when my microphone comes unplugged, Discord likes to suddenly change. So normally if I just come and I plug my microphone in, Discord says, "Okay, there's your microphone." If it gets suddenly unplugged and I plug it back in, it's sometimes like, "No, I'm just not going to use any microphones."
Mine likes to switch to my camera if I
Yeah.
don't unplug my camera, and then
Yep.
no one can hear me. I'm like, why Discord?
Yeah, it wouldn't even have taken so long, but I thought it might have been in the laptop settings, so I checked those first. Actually, I think it was both, come to think, because I did have to change something there too.
Okay.
But yeah, good to go.
All right.
Stealth check, which I have not rolled yet. That's a 21. But I heard
Okay.
he had a 3, so my roll doesn't really matter
I was gonna say,
that.
I had a 25.
hey,
I had
hey.
a 25.
What are you trying to...
Maybe it will even out because I had a 25. You had a
2
21.
positives sometimes cancel out 1 negative. I'm just saying.
Hopefully.
So
You see me
you guys
stepping on a
are
twig and stop me.
traversing through the ruins.
Oh god, he's pulling more stuff out.
You just see her a whole bunch of dice roll. That's how many enemies you have. That's not good.
Roll a new character for me.
No, it's not that bad.
I was about I spent so much time on the backstory for this one.
So you guys are the ground here is very roughshod. It's very, like I said, this place was in a sense at some point basically destroyed, and you can actually see the mist of the Mournland to the east as you guys are there. So you guys are creeping around. Okay, everybody's doing the creep, and one of you is doing your absolute best, but it's not enough.
Clang, 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 clang. I swear I'm going quiet. The stupid armor doesn't allow for it.
Oh my god.
You guys
This is-
see some creatures,
We need to find some full plate of stealth armor.
and these creatures appear to be, dwarves in height, stature, But there's something very, very unusual about these dwarves is that they all have skin that shines like glass. And the ground here is even in spots, like has big slippery patches that almost resemble ice, but it's glass. It appears to like some of like the magic of whatever happened on the day of mourning and some of the unusual things that came about from that have also affected this place as well. So these dwarves that are clearly no longer alive have like a coating, almost like an armor, and they have a reflective quality to them. So I'm just going to ask that you guys roll initiative, and we will decide what you want to do.
Let's go.
Ben just likes to constantly remind Randall of how slow he is.
19.
Oh my God.
What?
What'd you get?
Nice.
Nice.
21.
Navarro, 21. Randall, what'd you get?
16.
Oh,
Why didn't
you're
you
not
get? Why didn't you get that before?
So
Because
Navari,
I could make sure that Ruth shot a gunshot and that you had your chance to try
Yeah.
and solve the situation. That's why.
and no, hey, you guys didn't get beaten to death by bugbears, so it sort of worked.
That's true.
No,
And
now
3
we're going
bugbears would've
against
been-
like 8 undead.
I see
There's-
4.
I only see 4.
I thought you
Now,
said
mind
there
you,
was
you're-
like 8.
Yeah, well,
No,
this
that
is
was at the camp.
Yeah, so there's the camp. There's all sorts of stuff going on
It's
down
okay,
here.
I'm sure they'll just hear your gunshot.
Right?
Oh God, don't shoot. For the love of God.
Navari, you get to go first. What do you want to do?
Oh. I guess I'll shoot an arrow at one of them.
Okay.
I've never heard someone sound so despondent about shooting an arrow.
Well, it looks like
guess
they
I'll
have.
shoot an arrow.
I would stub them, but I don't like the looks of them, so I don't trust it. That's 15 to hit.
Okay. So your arrow strikes one of the undead. Go ahead and roll me some damage too. And
And
since it's a ranged attack, you do get sneak attack on that. Okay.
Oh, I do? Sweet.
Mhm.
Sneak attack is 2d6. Yes. $12 points of damage.
Okay. So you fire your arrow and it punctures into one of the creatures, and you see like basically the like a pane of glass almost like just kind of shatter from the creature, and like parts of it just splinter to the ground, and you get glints of like the reflection and jagged patterns and stuff like that.
Cool. Can I be like, hey, Randall, this one's on you, and go behind Randall?
Yeah.
I'm squishy.
No, you're good. I fully intended this character to basically be a gigantic meat shield for you two.
Yeah, I just didn't want to get bum rushed by 4 of them.
Ishara, what do you do?
So did she take the one down, or did she just destroy a chunk of it?
And which
She
one
did some severe damage to it.
Okay.
But she did not take it down.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Then I
Murder.
will start by shooting that one. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, God. I'm making noise. That's going to be 13 plus 8 is 21 to hit.
You better finish it quick.
That's gonna hit.
That's going to be 13 damage.
All right, so you fire, crack, boom, and you watch as the first one of these things collapses to the ground, and you can
Nice.
hear like not only you smell the smoke from the round, but you hear like glass crashing against glass from this thing hitting, and it is completely disabled. Randall, what do you want to do?
I have my second shot because I
Oh, yeah,
do
I'm
the
sorry.
dual wielding thing.
Bonus action.
No worries. Yes. Ooh, shoot. That's a. Ooh, does it? Yeah, 15 hits, right?
15 will hit.
Okay, cool. and that one's going to be 11.
11.
Damage, and that will be my turn.
Okay. And again, like your round goes through, crashing. You can see like the spider webbing of like glass parts like in it, because it's basically coated in it.
Very weird.
Yeah. So Randall, what do you do?
Curious, is the grid accurate? Like, are those 5-foot squares?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna use my action and my bonus or my move action to charge at the other two while drawing the maul.
Okay. Oh.
And I'm gonna get in between both of them, so I want
Okay.
to stand one square to the left if I can.
Like that.
Yep.
Perfect.
I basically want to make sure that if they try to leave my space, they're gonna pay for it.
Sure.
And that's my turn.
No, you can still swing.
Well,
Like
because
every-
huh?
No, you've got
Okay.
enough.
Okay. Because I can only move 25 feet. That's why I was saying that. That's why I was asking about the spaces. Because I was counting them on screen.
15.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an extra one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What a
I will
kind DM.
swing the maul, which apparently I haven't added, but I know it's 2d6 against the one to my right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Wait, 7 plus. I'm guaranteed it's the same as my axe. So that is a 12 to hit. No, 13.
So when your hammer connects with it,
Yeah.
it seems like you splinter away like parts of the armor. So the glass actually like flies up into your face and shatters against it. And the zombified dwarf staggers back, and it just kind of like lets out a low. And the other one standing next to it. Now that you're very close to them, you can see that they're both wearing like workman's clothing, such as like overalls, like that would be for mining. But it didn't appear that you really did any severe damage to it. But
Right.
you did disable like some of what was protecting it, like the encased protection.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that the one that you damaged swings at you, and he's like, and like he kind of like grabs onto like your arm, and you feel like the nails of it, but like you feel like shards of glass from like that are embedded into the hand dig into you, and you take 7 points of damage. It's like this parts of it even move left into your skin. The other one just lets a low and comes shambling at you. This guy up here who's taking a little damage, just kind of meanders towards the source of the sounds, approaching Ishara as close as it can get. Navari, we're going back to you.
Can I get to? Do I have enough movement to flank the one in front of Ashara?
Yes.
Okay. And then can I stab it with my rapier?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, because I'm flanking, I have advantage then?
Yes, you do.
Nice.
Good. I'm so happy I had advantage. Or I would have missed. That's a 16 plus 5, so 21 to hit.
That is absolutely a hit.
And then I get sneak attack as well, because I have someone with him.
Mm-hmm.
14 damage.
14. Okay, so you take your rapier and you take advantage of the fact that it seems to be honed in on the source of the sound, which is Ishara's pistols. And you just take your blade and just drive it right through the back of it. And with a clean swipe, you pull it out, and the dwarf collapses into the ground.
Nice.
Nice.
Ishara, what do you do?
All right, so I'm going to move around a little bit so that I'm not shooting past our dwarf friend here, and I will take my first shot at the one that he is already injured.
Okay.
Oh, geez, that's a 27, so I feel like I'm safe in a
Ishara,
suit.
do you have dark vision?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure that I do. Let me double check, though.
What are you?
I'm a Kalishtar.
I still don't know what those are. I'm gonna be honest.
I thought a Kalishtar was basically human, but
They are
Or half
basically.
pseudo-human, but they've got some other stuff going on. Let me see if there's dark vision.
Can you send
Ah.
me a picture of one?
So she looks pretty much human, other than having a very intense facial features. Their origin is human. Also,
Okay.
You do
I
not
don't have I do not have
So-
dark vision.
You do have disadvantage on your ranged attack.
Oops.
It's okay. It's just
That's
something I
okay.
just thought of.
Let me
Oh,
roll
this
the
is gonna
second
hurt.
die. Okay, does a 14 hit?
A 14 does hit.
Okay. Phew. I saw that 6 pop up and I'm like, ugh. All right, so that first shot's going to be for 9 damage.
Okay. So boom! You fire a shot and you see it go through the one where like the glass has been splintered and broken more severely. This is also the same one that actually made contact with Randall.
Nice. All right, and I will take one more shot, and I actually, on this one, I am going to spend a grit point to use piercing shot. So if I hit the
Mhm.
first one, I can make an attack on the second one at disadvantage.
Okay.
Would you say
Okay.
disadvantage squared?
No, that's not a thing.
Yeah,
Um,
no, you roll 4
okay.
dice and pick the lowest.
We have, for the first one, we have another 14.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so 12 damage to the first guy. And then the second one, how's a 13?
So you fire, boom! It goes straight through the first dwarf, knocking it to the ground. And then the round just again, like it hits the glass encased body and stops cold in its tracks.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Randall,
That'll
you
be
have
my
one
turn.
zombie dwarf in front of you, covered in glass,
And I'm
and
hurt, and now I'm bleeding.
and you are hurt a little bit. Yep.
I don't like it when things make me bleed.
No one makes
And
me
I'll take
bleed my own blood.
Yeah, right.
Sorry,
my
I had to make
hammer out.
reference.
No, you're good. Wow, cool. Randall's still a little woozy after the alcohol. And he rolls a natural 1 and swings into the ground a little bit.
Oh no!
It's not his
So
father's
Randall-
axe.
Yeah, Randall's like arm is like maybe torn up more than he realizes, and he swings and just gets a lot of momentum and just takes a stagger step forward, doing no damage, no connection. Navari, what do you do?
Can I flank that one? Do I have enough movement?
Yes. Yeah.
Do that, and then try and attack it
Okay.
from the rapier.
With
Oh.
advantage.
Yeah, I rolled low for both of them. It's an 11.
That is not enough to hit. You feel your
Yeah.
blade hit the glass near totally encased body of the creature, and it just like scratches along the surface of it, deflecting upwards.
I
Do
tried.
you want to do anything with bonus action? Do you have a second weapon or anything, or do you want to?
I don't think I have a second attack. Is level 1 or level
Unless you
3
use your
rogue.
bonus action.
Can
Unless you use
use?
your bonus action. Yeah. If
Yeah,
have a
unless
dagger.
if you have like a dagger or something, you could try to stab with that.
I do have daggers. Can I do that?
Yeah, yeah. If you hit, you don't add your dex to the damage, remember, but since you have not gotten a sneak attack yet this turn, you could still use sneak attack damage.
Okay. Do I still have advantage on the attack or no?
Yes, you do.
Okay. 19 plus 5.
So realizing that the rapier may not be the best attack option you have, you step forward with a dagger and you put it into like where you find like a seam at the neck base of it. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Okay, so I don't add my dex, it's just a d4 and then the sneak attack?
Yep.
Okay. 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay, and you like see the glass kind of like again like splinter and parts of it begin to shake off and from the creature, so it's a little bit more exposed and it's like staggered back and it turns and starts to look at you because you're the thing that just interacted with it. Ishara, what do you do?
We're gonna finish this gosh diggity danged guy off, I'm hoping. Right, because I think I've fired. I fired 3 rounds from each pistol, so this is my last round in each.
Mhm.
Well, first one's going to be a miss and a 10.
Okay.
Second one, however, will be it's a 14.
That's a hit.
And it's going to be 7 damage.
Okay. So you fire around. First one goes like wide, it crashes into some stone structure, remains, and it causes like a crumbling. The second, boom, fires, and this one hits the creature, staggering it, and it turns and looks at you because it's the thing that affected it and where the sound is coming from. But it seems to be
Bring it on.
like kind of entrapped with you guys. Mr. Agile, Randall, what do you do?
Well, we're gonna have company soon. I hope I can do better this time. You see him like set the Warhammer down and okay.
I believe
Let's
in
try
you.
this. Up and he's like, let's try this again. And with advantage this time because I know Navarre is across from it. Wow,
Yep.
thank God for advantage. That would be a 17 to hit.
So you swing for the fences and your hammer collides with its body. Go ahead and give me some damage.
Okay, I'm gonna smash into it for just poop. 5 plus 4.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Do I sound the same?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, because my mic got unplugged, and I'm like, am I gonna have to unplug my camera because of it?
5 plus 4, so 9, and then I'm gonna pump in some divine smite to try
Nice.
and finish this stupid thing off.
God.
Does it classify as undead?
Oh, it's absolutely undead.
Okay. That is, I think I get, is it D6 for my divine? Hold on a minute. D8s, thank God. Not D6s. I am rolling turds tonight. My dice do not like me, guys.
Oof.
That is not bad though. So 9 straight damage, and that's 11 plus. That's another 17 points of divine damage or sacred.
Holy smokes. So you guys see Randall's hammer just catch fire in this silvery, shining flame as it collides with this undead dwarf, and its entire like just center of its body just explodes in a flash of glorious, beautiful light, and this thing collapses to the ground. And at that exact moment is where we are going to stop because shots have been fired. The camp can probably hear them. Things are about to get absolutely insane. And so if you want to see how that turns out, I beg you to tune in next week, Thursday at 6:30 here at Heart of the Game on Twitch, where we go live with Dungeons and Dragons here in the fantastic setting of Eberron rising from the last war. I hope all of those of you who chimed in to watch tonight, I hope you had a good time. I know I had a great time. I always do playing with these guys. They're absolutely fantastic. As I always like to sign off each and every week, just everybody please be good to each other, be patient with one another, continue to practice social distancing so we can hopefully continue to keep the spread of coronavirus as minimal from like getting to a catastrophic, everybody in your town's in a hospital at the same time numbers. But yeah, on that note, good night, be well, live long and prosper.